Here with this week's Market Talk Tuesday. Before we get into the numbers, I want to talk about something that has probably started more real estate arguments than paint colors, HOA fees, and whose turn it is to unload the dishwasher. The Zestimate. You know how this works. According to Zillow, my house is worth this much. According to my wife, it's worth more. According to the tax assessor, it's worth less. And according to my kids, it's just where the Wi-Fi lives. Or a homeowner looks at Zillow and says, "Honey, Zillow says our house is worth $550,000. Then a buyer looks at the same exact house and says, "Well, Zillow says it's only worth $500. Funny how Zillow is always accurate when it agrees with us. I call this the Zillow Trap. Now, don't get me wrong, Zillow is a useful tool. The problem isn't that Zillow is useless. The problem is people think it's an appraisal. It's not. Zillow is basically looking at a bunch of data and making an educated guess. Think of it like this. If Zillow was grading papers, it would look at two students. They see both attended the same school. They assume that they both got the same grade. But one student studied all year long, and the other one wrote "Go Knowles" on every answer. They're not the same. The same thing happens with houses. Two houses may be the exact same floor plan. One has a new roof, updated kitchen, renovated bathrooms, fresh paint, a beautiful backyard, and the other one still has the original cabinets from when Messi first stepped onto the pitch. Those houses are not worth the same amount. But Zillow doesn't always know that, and that's why the market numbers matter, because actual buyers spending actual money tells us far more than a computer guessing from behind a screen. So let's see what happened this week. We currently have 333 houses on the market. The median list price is $485. Houses are averaging about 75 days on the market, and the median list price per square foot sits at about $245 per square foot. On the buyer side, we had 38 houses go pending this week, which is a pretty healthy number. But here's the interesting part. Only 17 houses closed this week. That's roughly half of normally what we see. It's about 30s. Now, before anybody goes to run to the comment section and declares the market's dead, remember, sold houses are a lagging indicator. Closings are based on contracts that were signed weeks ago. Sometimes the timing of inspections, financing, title work, or simply where we fall in the calendar can just create a slower closing week. We just saw 38 houses go pending, which tells us buyers are still active. The pipeline's still moving. Looking at the houses that did close, the median close price was $465, median sold price per square foot $232. Houses averaged 31 days to contract, and sellers received an impressive 98% of their asking price. And this is exactly why the Zillow Trap can be dangerous. If Zillow says your house is worth $500K, but buyers are only paying $465 for similar houses, guess who's right? Yep, the people who are writing the checks. The market determines value, not an algorithm, not AI, not your neighbor, and definitely not your cousin who watched 3 episodes of HGTV and suddenly became a real estate expert. The good news is we're still seeing strong demand. Homes that are priced correctly are finding buyers, sellers are still getting pretty close to asking price, and buyers still have opportunities because inventory is giving them more choices than they had a couple of years ago. So if you're curious what your house is actually worth, don't fall into the Zillow trap. It's like that friend who guesses everybody's age at a party. Sometimes it's close, sometimes it's way off, and somehow it's still completely confident. Now, looking at what similar homes are actually selling for right now, that's where the real story is. As always, if you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or just want to know what your houses can realistically sell for in this today's market, give me a call. Chris Kapp with Luker & Co., and that's another Market Talk Tuesday. Look out for my video this weekend where I explain why your house might not be selling. See you.